Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, and I haven't vlogged in, 3 days now? I think I put the last one up on Saturday, or was it Friday? I think it was Friday. So I kind of took the weekend off, just spent the whole weekend with family, and had a great weekend. Played lots of games. We played Texas Hold'em, Scrabble. There's another one called Quirkle, and I think we watched a couple movies last night. We watched Liar Liar, Jim Carrey. That was awesome, and we just had a great time. Yesterday we had steaks. The day before we had burgers. Actually, sorry, last night was honey and garlic sausages from Costco. So we had that last night. I guess that last night was Monday night. Sunday night we had the steaks. Saturday night we had the burgers, and yeah, it's a great weekend. It's been cold. It was like off and on raining all Saturday, and then Sunday it was like 6 degrees Celsius, felt like 3 degrees. And there's a few people that watch my vlogs that come up to the cottage in this area of Muskoka, and they agreed it was so cold. I'd hate to have been camping this long weekend. It would have been extremely cold, and I'm hoping people are prepared for that. I hope they looked ahead on it. But you always think it's going to be definitely warmer than this. It's usually like, I don't know, definitely in the teens. It's always in the double digits, possibly pushing 20 degrees on May 2 for a long weekend. And but yeah, we just had a great time. It's been windy all day yesterday. We put the dock in. Ben and I and Carol put the dock in on Sunday. Was it Sunday morning? Maybe it was Saturday. I think it was Saturday because, like I said, Sunday was windy like this. You don't want to put the dock in when you got this chop because it just wants to push the dock. So you have to, there's 4 anchors under here, 4 330-pound anchors. And so this one is tied to a 330-pound anchor there. That side's tied to the anchor that's over here. And they are round this way, and then they have like a big loop of metal on the top. So it's just a big, thick rope that's going there. One's going there. They have to crisscross them. Same with here. So in the wintertime, we tie that red rope that's down there. We tie that to that corner, tie it to the tree. So just in case these anchors get lifted off the ground when the lake rises, I try my best to put just enough slack on the anchors so that when the lake does go up and down, it doesn't move our anchors. But every year it just seems inevitable it's going to do it. So we have to, when it's a little bit warmer, I'm going to have to get my snorkel and flippers on, or at least my snorkel and mask, and go onto the dock, grab the anchors, and just basically do deadlifts, grab the anchor and just kind of walk it to where you need to have it, because they kind of need to have them almost like that anchor should be like just outside of that area right there. That's where that anchor should be tied to. And again, the lake, if it does rise again, it'll just drag the anchors a little bit. But again, the anchors are there just to support this dock from, number one, like doing this when boats go by. It definitely helps with that. And it just keeps it positioned and keeps a lot of the tension off the hinges here. And these are big hinges. But that was pretty much the easiest dock install we did. So we had the ramp on this dock and on 2 pieces of 2x4. And so we loosened up all the anchors. But Ben jumped from, well, the dock was probably about this close, so maybe 4-foot gap. So Ben did a running jump onto that dock, undid the anchors, so we had lots of slack. Then you use this dock to get this as close to here as possible, and then we put a rope onto these eyelets, and Ben would just like lift it into place. And then we had to, like I said, if it was this windy, the wind would be pushing it and it would be really hard. So I think we did this one first, and I just got it through this one, and then we quickly did this one, got it in and just hammered it in. And then when this drops off, we push this dock back and the ramp drops into the water. We use the 2x4s to make sure it doesn't hit as it's falling off. But because there's floats here, float underneath there, they pretty much are already level. You just have to finagle it into position. So if you guys were watching the vlog where I came up and it was still winter time, we took out that tree. Carol and I chopped it up smaller so it was easier to manage, and then dragged it up there and then cut up the rest with our new chainsaw. And there was a couple big long branches from this tree that got snapped off in the ice storm, and she had pulled them out luckily last week, and so they kind of dried out on the dock, which is good. And I'll show you how much stuff we've collected. Ben and I also blew all the leaves, so pretty much from the path, all those leaves that way, from this path, all the leaves this way, and there's a nice spot between their property and our property that we just put all of our leaves and twigs and stuff that we don't want. So, like I said, if you guys were watching that winter vlog, I was saying it was weird that this side of the dock was down. You can actually, when you're up there, you could just see that it looks like it was tipped. And I was hoping that nothing was wrong with the cribs, and there's nothing really wrong with the cribs. If we walk over, we'll go over there and I'll show you. But when Carol and I redid these cribs last year, I always make sure the cribs are right up to the front, in line with this dock, so that way I know if it's been moved, and it has been moved maybe an inch in, and it kind of tipped this way too. I'm just exaggerating, but it's definitely tipped in this way, and then it's also tipped this way. And I guess because the ground is soft there and it kind of has pushed down and it's on a bit of an angle. Same with this one, but this one actually sunk a little bit more into the dirt or mud. But there's a lot of rock here, so usually it doesn't sink too far. And so I had to get the bottle jack up the dock. I think I could possibly show you guys what I did. So I had to jack up, put those two 2x6s. So I screwed the two 2x6s together, and then I put a couple screws into the bottom. Am I on my mic? Okay, I thought I was lying on my mic. Just so that there's no way it's ever going to move. And this beam is just a gorgeous beam. I hooked this chain to the dock to this, just in case, like a couple years ago, the ice pushed it right off and then floated down the lake to somebody else's place. This way, hopefully, if it ever does that again, it just won't go any far. I have to go get that big branch out of there. I did have to go in the water to do that, but we actually managed to do the whole dock install. Nobody ever had to go in the water, which was good. But then I did have to go in the water just to fix that. We put that beam was up there. We put it back here. So that was the one we tied from the dock to that tree. I'm going to put that away in the shed. This is all the twigs that we picked up. So it's all the stuff that was on the ground. All this stuff was on the roof. So Carol, Ben, and I were on the roof collecting all the sticks, and then Ben blew all the rest of the debris off and cleaned out all our gutters, so we're good to go for the summer. But all this was on the roof. That was all on the roof. That was pretty much this whole area, plus pretty much all the birch stuff was the stuff that Carol pulled out of the area over there. Now I'll just show you one last thing. Oh yeah, there's the pile of leaves. I don't think this camera will do it justice, but that's about 3.5 feet high. Ben went a little bit overboard. I try to like spread the leaves out in this whole area as opposed to trying to make a huge pile. I'd love to go through this one day and just start pulling out as many of the twigs and stuff as possible, and maybe even burn some of the leaves just to get it down a little bit. So yeah, there's I think the property line is pretty much that tree. We used to have a stick here, but it got pushed over or whatever. But so that's their area where they dump all their leaves, and this is our area where we dump all of our leaves. And last but not least, the water level is definitely down, but it's usually a little bit more down than that. But you can see from here, that the crib is tipped down a little bit. So I'll probably let it go this year. If I have time, then I'll jack up the dock, put it on one of the poles that we have over here that we saved, and then take all the rocks out of the crib, readjust the crib into position, maybe try to even level it a bit more, and then put all the rocks back, put the dock back down, and that job will be done. I don't mind it a little bit crooked like that, but I think most people's cribs aren't like perfectly level at the bottom of the lake, so they have to, as they build them up, they usually try to level them with wood and stuff. That wind is just crazy. I'm so glad I got my special mic on. But all the flowers are coming up. Got hostas, I'm not sure. So I guess those are hostas. My mom has them all written down, what she's got. Just wanted to see if there's anything else I could show you guys, but that's probably pretty much it. We have to head home. I'm taking my mom over to my aunt and uncle's place because they're gonna take her back home because they live very close to each other. And then I have to go straight home, edit this video, pack, and then we're headed to Winnipeg because I've been asked to officiate a wedding. So I am actually going to be marrying Paul's middle son, Matthew, and his fiancée at the moment, Natalie. And so the wedding's Friday in Winnipeg. I've been practicing my ceremony for the last couple months, working on it, tweaking it, taking out stuff that's irrelevant, and trying to keep it as short and sweet and personal as I can. Natalie says I should videotape it and maybe make a vlog out of the ceremony, but I have to like ask more people just to make sure everybody's fine with it. Let me know how you feel about that. But yeah, it's time to finish packing the car, get my mom in there, and get her over to my aunt and uncle's, and then head home. I might have to cut the lawn tonight, but we leave first thing in the morning. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for all your support, and I hope you had a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next vlog. Ciao.